When bills like this get done, how much of it's driven by good tax policy versus good politics? Because if you were just sitting down drawing a bill up and all you had to consider was good tax policy and you didn't have to consider the politics, I mean, what seems to drive it? Because it seems like, when, at least from the news, it's all politics. We'll make this change because it'll get us a vote, as opposed to thinking through it and saying, well, is that good policy?
Yeah, so I think you could probably say it's largely the politics of it, but they're not always, totally separate.
Right.
I think first and foremost, as we said, nobody wanted taxes to go up, or most
Right.
people. I mean, there was bipartisan agreement that middle class taxes, lower income taxes, those should not go up. There's always disagreement at the higher end.
Right.
Should we
Should
tax
those
more for
go
the
up?
wealthy?
Right.
That kind of thing. And there are sort of provisions in the weeds, the stuff that maybe you don't hear about all the time, where they make tweaks, they make changes that are good policy, things that folks feel like need to be fixed or changed. But but yeah, a lot of it is sort of high level. Are we going to increase taxes? Who's going to pay the price here, or share in the burden? And and you had, in this case, individuals and families were kind of front and center because a lot of the business stuff was made permanent,
Right.
in the last bill, which was a little controversial when that happened.
Right.
And so folks did not want to see those taxes go up.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that are good policy don't get as much attention as what makes for the political battles and the horse
Yeah.
trading for votes and things like that.
And sometimes it's about what chair you sit in, right? You
Yeah.
look at the whole SALT debate.
Right.
If you're from a, Midwestern or rural state and have very low state and local taxes and tend to have constituents on the lower incomes, threshold, then folks are not going to be crazy about, these state and local tax deductions. But if you're from Westchester County in New York, it's just killing,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
killing your sort of high income base. And that ended up, as we all saw, being one of the sticking points. One that they, it was one of the few that they actually really did have to negotiate between the House and the Senate to try to come up with something, because there was a fear that if they ignored the House members on that issue completely, that bill probably would have not gotten passed with the only three vote margin.
Right.
But they were
Right.
able to get it close enough, and nobody got everything that they wanted. That was also set to expire. That cap was set to expire at the end of this year as well. So they had some leverage. These members from New York and Connecticut and New Jersey had some leverage